The international break is over. And so it means one thing and one thing only. The Premier League is back, which means the preview show is back. We were here last week, relaxing and taking it easy. But this week, we have a fantastic fixture on our hands. Premier League Preview Show live on Facebook. My name is Nathan Kwa. Benjamin Nketia joins me as usual. But remember that the show is proudly brought to you by Betway and Premium Bank and proudly supported by Vodafone, Guinness, and Slide Pay. We'll take a short break, and when we come back, we start the discussions. Top of our menu, the one, the only, the clash at Anfield involving Liverpool, Man United. Thank you very much for staying tuned. It's the Premier League Preview Show live on Facebook, live on City TV. Between now and 1:30, we'll be breaking down the hottest games of our coverage this weekend. Plus, getting to the end, we'll bring in our quiz winner. Remember the quiz from last week? Who scored Arsenal's first goal of the season? The smart man who got it right will be getting his prize a little later in the show. Benjamin Nketia, you're not getting any prizes today.
Yeah, I mean, I forgot to come in my jersey as well, so it's a regular day. I'm just happy that the international break is over.
Yeah.
It's such a drag for me.
But it leaves some teams unhappy, and Liverpool
Yeah.
are very unhappy. And it's the team we'll be talking about. They've lost Sadio Mane for 6 weeks, and they play the old enemy on Saturday morning at Anfield. It's Liverpool versus Manchester United. A fixture that excites the whole of England.
Yeah.
But for Jurgen Klopp, this is a game he needs to win to tell his employers that he's still the man in charge, to tell the players that they can go at it, and probably to tell himself that he can still run this project for as long as the owners want him to do so.
Well, I think that first of all, for Jurgen Klopp, even before you think about the absence of Mane going into this game, you look at the league table and you realize that there's already 7 points between yourself and Manchester United. Now, lose this game and that could blow up to double figures. And I'm not sure that before December, Liverpool want to be chasing the top pack of the league by double figures. Now, a game of this nature, of course, has its own implications and its rollover effects. Basically, what I think is Liverpool have one job and one job only, to play their best game of the season against Manchester United, because I don't believe that anything but their best game will cut it on the day.
What's the most important thing? Is it about just walking out of Anfield with all 3 points, or playing some fantastic football while picking the 3 points?
Liverpool have always played fantastic football, and when they have been criticized, it's never been for the lack of enterprising football, for the lack of beautiful football. It's more about the lack of end results and also the lack of the ability to keep it tight at the back. So now they have a task of going up against an opponent that have shown that even in their most rugged of forms, they've always been prepared for Liverpool. Now, Mourinho is a pragmatic manager. He's a very reasonable guy, especially when he goes into encounters like these. He will not perceive this as one of the regular matches he's going to play because he's won back-to-back games by 4 goals to nothing. It's going to be a match where he might even probably decide to sit tight at the back and counter-attack, or possibly even frustrate Liverpool and take a 1 point away from this, because in the past we've seen that Liverpool have always shown that they don't lack motivation for such games. They will come attacking, they will try to get the goals, but at the end of the day, if you come in dominating and if you come in searching for a performance that will turn your poor run of form around, and you are the one who walks away frustrated and United walk away with the point, it will almost feel like victory for them. So I mean, there will be mental games between the managers, and then there will be what will happen actually on the pitch. But again, that loss of Sadio Mane will be big for Liverpool.
How huge is that? Now he's going to miss 6 weeks. That's about 7 or 8 games. A few Premier League games, 2 Champions League games at least have been confirmed. How do they replace him on Saturday? Because that's the most immediate challenge. How do they line up without Mane? How do they get what he's taking away, at least to an extent, against the Jose Mourinho side, which you say have been in great form and defensively will try to keep Liverpool out of the way. They'll try and lock all the doors and windows.
Well, basically, he scored 3 goals already for them in 5 matches. So you can tell that when he is on the pitch for Liverpool, he's practically one of their best players. Well, it will help now, and it will cushion them now that Philippe Coutinho is returned, and it looks like he's getting back to his old form. But again, if you've watched Liverpool play, you realize that they have a 3-man midfield where Philippe Coutinho is playing only as an advanced playmaker in the 3-man midfield. So he doesn't essentially form part of the attacking trio, which means that there's Mane out on the left, there's usually Firmino, and then there's Mo Salah. Right. So what I believe is going to happen now, and what I think should happen, is that Philippe Coutinho is going to go out on the left-hand side, the proper left wing.
You think that's what's
going
to happen?
He's going to go out onto the proper left wing.
Could Klopp not try to play Danny Sturridge?
It will make sense to play Danny Sturridge, but where would you want to play Roberto Firmino? Out on the left?
Maybe out on the left.
It doesn't make a lot of sense for me. He doesn't do enough damage out on the left.
I
believe that Philippe Coutinho, on the average, favors playing out on the left-hand side than playing on the inside left, if you get what I mean. He favors to be the winger, even though he's not a winger. It gives him more room to operate, and he's very good going down the byline, taking defenders with him and setting up the ball across. So for Philippe Coutinho, it will make a lot of sense for Jurgen Klopp to stick him down, stick to Roberto Firmino, stick to Mohamed Salah, stick to your Emre Can, Jorginho Wijnaldum, and I'm still bringing in Marco Grujic. I'm still leading the crusade against Jordan Henderson.
Looks like
I think that Jordan Henderson
is not getting the attention of the manager.
You see, the problem, it's not as if I don't like Jordan Henderson, but he's supposed, what is his role in that central midfield? He's supposed to be the shield. Now, what is Jordan Henderson's biggest attribute? Energy. Jordan Henderson is not a good ball interceptor. He's not an exceptional tackler. He's not an exceptional passer. And he doesn't give Liverpool a lot of options going forward. So why keep him in the team when there's one, a specialist at what you need for the job, and one who is young and has shown that he has an eye for goal when given a chance as well? It's a no-brainer for me.
Let's just round up the discussion on this one. Liverpool's biggest problem is being very obvious, the defense. For Man United, what should be the plan if they want to get something out of this game? How do they walk into Anfield knowing that Liverpool have a poor rear guard but a fantastic attacking part of their team?
The first part of that is mental. I mean, I don't think, again, that United will come attacking Liverpool thinking that they want to get an early goal, settle their nerves and get the game over with. They will gradually react to what Liverpool do in the game. They will pace themselves and take their opportunities when they come. Now, there are bound to be a few missed opportunities, but you get the sense that, I mean, I've seen Liverpool play United, and I'm getting a sense again that regardless of how much the form has improved, how good the goal scoring have been, United will still be a counter-attacking team against Liverpool because they are likely to get undone if they try to match Liverpool boot for boot in that same style. Now, remember that I said that Liverpool always seem to have a problem when they go 45 minutes without a goal, come back into the game 10 minutes without a goal, and the match stretches on for about 60-70 minutes. Basically because the pressing system, your legs can just not sustain that level of pressing.
You can't play this rock star football for 90 minutes.
You cannot. It's tough. That's the window where I believe United will make their bones.
So I believe United will have to weather the storm for about 70 minutes. 60-70
minutes and possibly look to peg Liverpool when the opportunity arises.
We'll see what happens to Man United at Anfield. In the last 3 years, they've managed to go there and get good results. Last season, they drew goalless there. The season before, it was tough. But under Van Gaal, they managed to get 2 wins. One thanks to Wayne Rooney, the other a one master class there. Sir Alex Ferguson got a win at Anfield in his last season. So Liverpool's record against United at Anfield in the last few years has not been too good. But you do know that when Liverpool turn up, it will be difficult for Man United. Let me read a few of the messages because that's what's dominating the discussion. Sino Kowam says, good afternoon to you. All right. Kojo Tony says, we're here. Okay. We'll talk about Kojo Tony later. Amani Mutalatanko says, Sadio Mane is out. Don't tell United we'll take it easy. 3-1 for United. Alaj Harun Ambala says, United to get the 3 points. This one says, from Kojo Tony says, this is the game Martial and Rashford are going to enjoy the defense of Liverpool. Wow. Okay. Baron Emmanuel Bamford says, I think Liverpool will lose. United's forward line is confident. Kwekwano Kumi says, game can go either way. Both of you might not like what you will witness, okay? It could end up to be a very drab game. It could. And Mourinho, like you're saying, will like that rather.
Exactly. That's the sort of game he'll be looking for.
Soku Deladem John says, United all the way. Liverpool 1, United 3. We'll see about that. Let's move on to our other game of the day, Ben. And it's our second featured game on Saturday. It's Palace versus Chelsea. And Palace are in atrocious form. And now they are taking on Chelsea, who want to respond. They lost to Manchester City 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And I'm sure they'll be licking their lips at the prospect of really dishing it out to Crystal Palace on Saturday.
But there's a good part to this, because this ends Crystal Palace's rugged run of facing the big teams. Remember, they played Manchester City and Man United already. So now they know that
they need to go through Chelsea.
They know that after this, it's a lot of regular teams, a lot of teams with equal stature. But I believe that they will get it handed to them. Again, you look at Chelsea, and we can talk about Liverpool's crisis, but you notice that Liverpool and Chelsea are separated by just 1 point.
Yeah, they
Chelsea actually have 13 points. And as much as their problems have not looked as glaring as Liverpool's, I still believe that Chelsea are not out the woods yet. They are also a team that are still sort of feeling their way around the season. And that's not a bad thing, because I usually believe that it will take you around 10 to 12 games to find your level, know what you need to switch up.
I have to admit that for certain teams, 10 to 12 games is a bit too much. Too much water.
I mean, if you want to contend for a championship, you cannot take 10 to 12 teams to get going.
But now Chelsea won't have Morata.
That's the big problem.
2 weeks ago, or last week rather, when we met, you stated a claim and made a case for Michy Batshuayi, and you're telling Antonio Conte, throw the specialist into the role and let him play where he's comfortable.
Exactly.
There's a high chance that may happen, but in case that doesn't happen, how do Chelsea navigate this game?
Well, the only option will be to go with a false nine. And I mean, if you want to talk about the false nine system, they have quite a number of options. I feel that Eden Hazard, of course, will favor his left-hand side. Pedro will definitely love a run at goal, because we've seen him do it before for Barcelona under Pep Guardiola. I feel that to get the best out of Willian, you might sometimes have to play him as a false nine also. So Chelsea definitely have quite a number of options to keep things interesting. But I look at this as a game that should be straightforward for them, really.
But Palace will have Zaha back, hopefully. They've had 2 weeks to think about this game. You don't think that?
And 2 weeks to have watched tape of all the bad games they've played this season. For me, that's the most essential bit. So, like
you think they should think about themselves?
They should go into this game with a nothing to lose mentality. Like, oh, we are coming to the end of this bad run. Like, go into it and enjoy yourself. Because I can tell you for a fact, like I'm saying, Chelsea are not stable for me. They are still a team that's shaky. They are still a team that's like plucking away and putting pieces together, trying to find what the best fit is for them at the moment. And that's the best time to catch a team like Chelsea. So far, we've seen that there can be games where they can absolutely not turn up. And it could just be one of those matches. But I believe that in this game, there just won't be anywhere to hide for Crystal Palace. Also just holding into mind that they have still not scored a single goal this season.
You don't think that will come against this Chelsea?
And they've played 7 matches already. Chelsea, funny enough, have looked quite robust at the back, even when they've lost matches. I mean, never mind the Burnley game where the red card just cascaded everything out of control, but they've generally looked out of control. Only that sometimes when you expect them to show championship caliber, they just look very flat and unimaginative.
Okay, Chelsea will have to find their imagination. On Saturday, they host Crystal Palace, the league's worst performance this season, and the worst team in England, according to the statistics. They are yet to score a goal this season. Everybody in England has scored, except Palace. But will they find that goal on Saturday? We'll see. That game is at 2 p.m. on Saturday. Our final game on the day on Saturday is another interesting London mix. But it's two teams who are fairly close to each other. Watford and Arsenal.
Yeah.
Watford at home, Arsenal, the visiting team. Watford have had a very interesting start to the season. They drew 2-2. I think 3-3 was with Liverpool on day one. They've won a couple of games away from home. Marco Silva will look at this team and say, maybe this should have been the team I managed last season, not Hull City. But Arsenal have their own problems, especially on the road, and they'll have to try and get past a very determined Watford side on Saturday evening.
Well, the strange bit about Watford this season is that their home games have been poor. When they play at home, you ask yourself if this is the same team that actually plays on the road, because they look like they enjoy playing on the road more than they do at home. And that's the problem for me. For the fans, for the coach, and for players themselves, that should be a problem. Now, Arsenal, again, fancy such games. And these are typical Arsenal type matches. Watford
last season they walked away. It was a 4-1, I think. It was a fantastic display from Ozil and
they could get blown out of the water by halftime in a game like this, because practically Arsenal know that teams like Watford feel as if they can come at them in a game like this, open up and play football, but you can't.
So you think, so you're telling me Watford need not, like United, they shouldn't dare try and jab with Arsenal?
They do not have to do that at all, because I'm sure they have their own tapes to refer from on how this particular encounter has gone in the past. And I'm saying that if Arsenal fancy scoring a lot of goals and expressing their type of football, it's against teams like Watford, teams that become overly ambitious because of a number of good results. And I think that the good results Watford have enjoyed to the start of the season has the tendency to make them overconfident, and that's the danger in a game like this. You could go into a match and get picked up by 3-0 at halftime, and then that's over for you.
Done.
But again, they've shown resistance this season. That even
think that's
when
something say they didn't have last
that's
season.
That's the biggest standout point from them this season. Their resilience, their ability to come back from goals, their ability to score goals when they've been pushed to the wall.
2 weeks ago, I think it was at Swansea.
Exactly.
They were down, they fought back eventually.
Did it against Liverpool. They've grabbed single goal wins this season. So they're just that sort of team where you know that their run of good form will come to an end at a point. I think this will be the game where it will come to an end. Again, I think guys like Doucouré will have a good game, but it will just not be enough. Arsenal are just too good as a unit, especially when it comes to matches against, if I should say, an average team like Watford. I no disrespect, but Watford is an average team.
We'll see. That game is on Saturday at 4:30. It should be a fascinating time. Watford taking on Arsenal. But we've got other games on City 97 points. It's Brighton taking on Everton on Wednesday. Southampton welcome Newcastle, and Leicester City will take on West Brom. That's happening on Monday night. So there's Monday night special involving Leicester City and West Bromwich Albion. That's at the King Power Stadium, and the King Power Stadium is always a good ground. Ben, it's always bouncy, lively,
very, very loud place.
And I'm sure Leicester,
the football atmosphere is great. Leicester City, I mean, it also helps that they are back in their regular zone where they don't have to be.
It's been a very interesting season for them. They've not been rewarded. I think I look at their football, and you look at the points.
They've had some tough encounters in the opening. They
lost
stretch.
to Arsenal, lost to Liverpool at home.
They've played just about the most difficult games for all the other supposed mid-table teams. So I can't really blame them. I actually think that they've done very well. If they can carry that same level of performance, enthusiasm, power and speed into games against teams of equal stature, I don't see why they should not be able to secure a Europa League appearance this season.
Okay, we'll see. So Leicester being tipped to get back into Europe, albeit in the Europa League. So they play on Monday night against West Bromwich Albion right here on City 97.3. It's the Premier League Preview Show. Started at 1, will be ending shortly. We are live every Wednesday on Facebook and on City TV. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, I'll do my own tactical switch. Benjamin Ketia will go to the side, and then I bring in our quiz winner from last week. He'll get his prize, and then I ask him a few questions about the team he supports, take his predictions ahead of the weekend, and then we'll be out of here. So you're still watching the Premier League Preview Show. We'll take a short break. When we come back, there's more.
They'll go with the 4-4-2 diamond formation for that early lead.
An early goal will settle the nerves.
The away team has been in bad form. They will feel the pressure.
The home side's kept 2 clean sheets in a row.
It's all about momentum.
Who will have the stamina to last the 90 minutes?
The star striker is suspended.
They've got no kappa.
The marking will be tight.
This will be won or lost in the midfield.
This is why I bet.
This is why I bet.
This is why I bet. Betway, for the love of the game.
Inside the last minute of the opening 45 here. And,
Scores. 1. Who? Red. Red? Blue.
Scores! What a way to finish the first half!
Scores. Halftime. Scores!
We hope. We dream. We play. We are fire in our hearts. We are made of black.
Hi, welcome back as the Premier League Preview Show right here on City TV Live on Facebook. My name is Nathan. So like I said, I was going to do a tactical switch, being the coach that I am. Great manager, great thinker. Daniel Cranting is my assistant, you know. We've made our own switch. So I've been joined by Kojo Tony. Kojo, hi, nice to have you here.
Hi, thank you.
All right, so Kojo Tony is our winner of our quiz. Last week, the question was a very simple one. Which Arsenal player scored Arsenal's first goal of the season? And you got the answer right. Who was it? Alexander Lacazette.
Yeah.
Brilliant. So that's how you got it right there. I'm sure you must have listened to that first game.
Sure, I even watched. I listened. I was watching.
You listening and okay, you're listening and you took note. Yeah. Great. Which club do you support?
Manchester United.
Manchester United.
Sure.
They are at Liverpool this Saturday. Just quick thoughts before we talk about the prize.
It's a very big game, and then these are the games you look up. You look up to when the fixtures are out.
Okay.
And then I've watched Liverpool this season. They are doing well, currently lying 7th with 12 points. And then Liverpool are conceding goals here and there. And then,
but you know, this Liverpool team, we see them, they play well. When it's a big game, they play very well. Are you not afraid that they will destroy Manchester United? They beat Arsenal 4-0.
We went there last season and we drew goalless over there. And then on a good day, the likes of Firmino, Coutinho, and then Mane is out missing this game. Now, so on a good day, trust these guys, they are going to discipline you. But looking at Liverpool team this season, I don't see Liverpool winning against United.
You don't see Liverpool winning? No. Okay, let me read a few messages. Some people seem to agree, others do not agree. Daniel Saki says it will be a drawn game. Joseph Yama says, I think Crystal Palace will shock Chelsea. Says they will bounce back. Zaha is fit and ready to play. Says maybe a 2-2 draw. Okay. Baron Emmanuel Banford says I think a draw will be consolation for Palace. Carl Potter says Liverpool will beat United 4-1. I told you somebody wouldn't like that. Ekoyosin says Chelsea will win with or without Morata. Mumuni Sana Nuruddin says bring it on Liverpool. He says United to win 3-1 and he's using the pragmatism of Jose Mourinho as his basis. Okay. Ericsson and Aka says Common City, a win for Liverpool on Saturday. Hashtag shock on the cards. Emmanuel Latipo, okay, I've read that. Robert Mensah says great hashtag City Sports. Thank you very much. So you are confident that United
I'm very
can survive.
Confident. Looking at the
Will
back,
they get a draw
looking at the back of Liverpool, the like of Matip, Moreno, Lovren is also going to miss through injury.
Okay.
But looking at the defense of Liverpool, I think Martial, Rashford are going to enjoy.
You think they will enjoy? Sure, but there are some United fans who seem to be.
It's a difficult game. We fell well for the past, I think 3 seasons. We fell well against Liverpool. If you follow the trend,
Anfield.
Sure. And then trust me, the guys and Lukaku coming back from injury, doing it yesterday. Okay. And then I'm sure he's going to get a goal.
The man called King Luka. So, Kojo, here's your prize. Thank you very, very much. So you can show it to the camera. So Kojo getting his prize. So yeah, so what will you tell people? That some people out there, you just turn around, let them know that this is branded City Sports. So that's the lowdown right here on the Premier League Preview Show. So you won last week's quiz. Sure. I'm sure you want to win the other.
I've tried the last on the transfer deadline day. I tried winning the
tablet.
Yeah, sure, but I called and
missed it.
Sure.
You missed it. So don't worry. Sure. There will be bigger prizes. But now that you've won your prize, what have you got to tell people out there?
All I want to tell people is that it's real. City Sports is the best in town currently, and there's no other station comes near to City Sports.
I said I was going to be the last thing, but let me just ask your opinion. Now, Fellaini won't play this game. Sure. How much of a problem will it be for Manchester United? And if he played, what was he going to, or what would he have given Manchester United?
Sure, it's very difficult. We're going to miss Fellaini. Through the beginning of the season, some of us didn't like Fellaini coming in. A time when it's a time to sub, and when we see Fellaini warming up, some of us get angry. But within a certain, Fellaini has become a very integral part of United midfield. And then he's now even benching under Herrera. looking at the form currently. So if Fellaini should have played, he would have helped sustain United midfield with the help of Matic. So I'm very sure it's going to affect us. Like Herrera is going to do it, and he's proven. Herrera has proven to us from last season, and he's going to just do it for us. Okay,
Kojo Tony, thank you for your thoughts. This one is from Ike A. Nuteria says Liverpool's worst will be a draw. Do you agree with that?
Sure.
You agree with that?
We are winning.
The supremely confident Manchester United fans are going crazy with their predictions. Kojo, thank you very much once again. Congrats on winning. And it's nice to talk to you. But that's our show for today. We are back next Wednesday. Remember that the show was live on Facebook, live on City TV, and it was brought to you by Premium Bank and Betway, and proudly supported by Slide Pay, Guinness, and what's that third one? Slide Pay, Guinness, and Vodafone. Almost always. It always trips me up. But hey, that's the beauty of it. Slide Pay, Vodafone, and Guinness. They are the partners, our proud main sponsors, Premium Bank and Betway. It's a Premier League Preview Show. We are out. We are back next Wednesday at 1 p.m. Keep the fun going and join us this weekend as we bring you live coverage of the Premier League starting at 11:30. Liverpool v Man United at Anfield. It will be fireworks all the way through Monday night when Leicester take on West Bromwich Albion. We are out. Catch you next week.